multiplying and dividing rational expressions. Let's start with multiplying rational expressions. How do we multiply two rational expressions? For example, how do we multiply 3 over 7 times 2 over 5? Well, when you multiply fractions, you multiply the top times the top over the bottom times the bottom. 3 times 2, which is what? 6. 7 times 5, which is 35. And you see if you can simplify your answer. In this case, we can't. So I'm done with this. Let's try this one. 3 over x times 4 over x. 3 times 4 over x times x. What's 3 times 4? That is 12. X times x, when you multiply, you add the exponent x squared. Can I simplify that? No. Let me try this one. 4a squared over 5b to the 4th times 3b over, 12a. Now I can either multiply the whole thing, then simplify my answer. And maybe I'll do that. So this will be 4a squared times 3b over 5b to the 4th times 12a. 4 times 3, that's 12. A squared b over 5 times 12, which is what? 60. 1a and 4 b's. Now I got to simplify that. Let's go back to pre-algebra. 12 and 60. Can I simplify that? By 12 this is 1. By 12 this is 5. So 1 on the top, 5 on the bottom. You get 2 a's on the top, 1 a on the bottom. 2 on the top, 1 on the bottom. The 1 on the bottom will cancel one of the ones on the top. It's going to leave me with 1a. We have 1b on the top, 4 on the bottom. 1 on the top, 4 on the bottom. So that will leave me with 3 of them on the bottom, because this will cancel one of these, and that will turn that to a 3. And again, at the end, we just don't put the 1. When you write your answer, you never put the 1. Everyone knows if there is no number, it is a 1. So the final answer should be a over 5b to the 3rd. Now, instead of dealing with big numbers, some people like to simplify first, then multiply. Oh. So instead of dealing with big numbers, they go, oh, by 4 this is 1, by 4 this is 3. That's fine. Then they go, wait a minute, by 3 this is 1, by 3 this is 1. I have 1a on the bottom. As long as top and bottom, it doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be the same fraction. This a cancels one of these. That will leave me with 1 here. This b will cancel one of these. That will leave me with the 3 here. So you just got to look through all this gibberish stuff and see what's left there. What's left, this is 1. A to the 1. Nothing here. In the bottom, there's the 5 here. And b to the 3rd. Which is a over 5b to the 3rd. In this case, this might be a little bit cleaner, easier to see than this one. Whatever works for you. It doesn't really matter which way you want to do it. Either simplify first, then multiply, or multiply first, then simplify. Okay, let's try a few bigger ones. Multiply 3m over m squared plus 5m times 3m plus 15 over 6m. With these type problems, it might be easier if you factor first, simplify before you multiply. So let's look at the 3m. You really can't do anything about it. M squared plus 5m. Can we factor anything out of that? We can factor an m out. If you take an m out, what's left? M plus 5. Times let's look at this one. I can take a 3 out. If I take a 3, what's left? M plus 5. And this is the 6m. And let's look and see if there's anything common on the top and the bottom. I see m plus 5, m plus 5. They cancel each other out. What else do you see? I see this m cancels that m or this m. Three and 6. By 3, this is 1. By 3, this is 2. So let's look and see what's left there. 3 times 1, which is 3. On the bottom, all of this is gone. What's left? The 2 and the m. 3 over 2m. Let's try this one. 6 over 9c squared minus 1. 1 plus 3c over 12. Factor again, 6 over, this will be 3c minus 1 3c plus 1. That's the difference of two squares. 1 plus 3c over the 12. And 1 plus 3c and 3c plus 1 are the same thing. They're not backwards, so I'm not going to put a minus 1. It's a plus. By 6, this is 1. By 6, this is 2. So what's my final answer? 1 times 1, really. It's just a 1 on the top. In the bottom, I get the 2. And I get the 3c minus 1. Again, you can leave it like this, or you can multiply it by the 2. It's up to you. What's 2 times 3c? 6c minus 2. Again, it's just a preference. You can leave it like this, or you can leave it like that. Let's try to make them a little bit bigger. Multiply. X squared plus 4x minus the 21 over 3x minus 9 times 6x squared minus 24 over x plus 2. Again, let's factor each one first. This is x and x. Negative, that means one is positive, one is negative. Positive 7 minus 3. Why? When you add plus 7 and the minus 3, that gives me the plus 4 that I need. Times. The bottom here, I can take a 3 out. What's left? X minus 3. The bottom of this, x plus 2. The top is different. I'm going to do the top in 2 steps. First step is I need to factor the greatest common factor, which is a 6. If I factor the 6, what's left? X squared minus the 4. Again, am I done factoring? The answer is no. If I factor this one, the top, that's x squared minus 2 squared. X squared minus 2 squared. When you factor that, that's x minus 2, x plus 2. And now look for the same thing on the top and the bottom. Anything the same will cancel. Gone. Gone. What else? By 3, this is 1. By 3, this is what? 2. So what is left? On the top, I see the 2. I like the numbers first. X plus 7, x minus 2 over the 1. If it's over 1, you don't need the 1. And that'll be the correct answer. And you can stop here. Some people might FOIL this one out and multiply it by the 2, and you can. So this is really good. If you stopped here, you typed in that answer, that'll be the correct answer. But if you also want to multiply it out, go ahead. What's x times x? X squared. That's 7x minus 2x plus 5x. What's 7 times a negative 2? Negative 14. I'm using the FOIL method. In case you forgot. So if you do that and you clean it, you end up with this. Now take the 2 and multiply it through. And that'll be what? 2x squared plus 10x minus 28. That's also correct. So this is good. This is good. My gut feeling tells me if you left it like this, that'll be correct. They probably like it better than this. Let's try another one of these before we go division. Notice they start to get bigger. But the good news is, once you understand the multiplication, the division will be straightforward. Let's multiply. Y squared minus y minus 30 over y squared plus 10y plus the 9 times 18 minus 7y minus y squared. This is y squared minus 8y plus 12. First thing first, I don't like the top here. I like them in descending power. So let me do that first. That bothers me. If I write the y squared, it's going to be a negative. I don't like negative either, so I'll factor a minus 1 out. That'll be y squared plus 7y minus the 18. Notice I switched all the sign because I took the minus outside, or the minus 1. Now I'm going to try to factor each one of them. If you put parentheses or not, it really doesn't make a difference. I like parentheses. I'm a fan of them. So let me factor this. Y, 1 is positive, 1 is negative. 30 is 6 times 5, and I want the sum to be minus 1. So it's negative 6 plus the 5. That's 5y minus 6y will make it negative 1y. 9 is either 3 times 3 or 9 times 1, but I want the sum to be 10. Y plus 9, y plus 1. Times. This is the negative 1. Y squared, it's y and y. 1 is positive, 1 is negative. Let's look at the 18. 9 and 2 is 18. I want the sum to be 7 plus 7. So 9 goes with the plus, 2 goes with the minus. Minus 2y plus the 9y, that's plus 7y. Y and y. The signs are the same. They're both negative. 12 is 4 and 3, but they don't add up to 8. 6 and 2, they'll add up to 8. And now let's see if we have anything the same top and the bottom. Look for the same thing. This y minus 6 with this y minus 6. This y minus 2 with this y minus 2. Anything else? Y plus 9, y plus 9. What is left? It's the minus 1, y plus 5 on the top, over y plus 1. You don't need the 1, you can just make it a minus. And if the minus on the top, which is fine, most likely they're going to put it in the front, y plus 5 over y plus 1. And that should be my answer. Now, let's take another 10 more minutes, do division, then we're done. If you understood this, division is going to be quick. And the reason I say division is quick, because division, just like multiplications, when you have 2/3 and we said divide that by 5 over 7. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to take that and make it 2/3, change the division to multiplications, and multiply by the reciprocal of 5 over 7, which is 7 over 5. So we did two things. We changed the multiplication to, the division to multiplications. And we flip that number, and this is called the reciprocal. The reciprocal of 5 over 7. Once you make these two changes, it's straightforward multiplications. How do we multiply? We go top times the top. 2 times 7, which is what? 14. 3 times 5, 15, and you simplify your answer if you can. So we change our division to multiplications, and we flip the second number. We do the reciprocal of that. I have an extra E here, I guess. My eyes are getting old. Reciprocal. Okay, let's try another one. If I have 3 over x divided by y over 2. Again, I'm going to change it to multiplication. The first expression stays the same. We change the division to multiplication. We flip the second one. 2 over y. 3 times 2, 6. X times y, xy. Six a over b divided by 3a squared over b to the third. Leave the first one alone. Change it to multiplications. Flip the second one. So if you want to multiply it first and simplify, that's fine. Here we go. By 6, this is 1. By 6, this is what? 3. So my answer is going to be, I don't need the 1, there's the 3. I have 1a on the top, 2 on the bottom. That will leave me with 1 on the bottom. And I got 3 b's on the top. B cubed. So just do that extra step. Change it to multiplications and flip the second one and apply the rules that we learned for multiplications. Divide x plus 3 over x minus 10 divided by x plus 1 over x plus 3. Again, we're going to change, keep the first one, change the division to multiplications, flip the second one. Notice we tried to trick you here. I tried to see if you're going to cancel the x plus 3 with the x plus 3. You can't. It's a multiplication. The only time you can do it when it's addition. Now let's look and see, do we have the same thing on the top and the bottom? Nope. No. 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 I can't cancel anything. That's x plus 3 times x plus 3 divided by, and it doesn't matter which one you write first, really. The only thing I might do different here, since I got x plus 3 twice, I'll just say x plus 3, the whole thing squared. There's 2 of them, over x plus 1 times x minus 10. Again, it doesn't matter which one of these you write first. And no reason why I switched them. I wasn't even thinking. Divide. Six x plus 3y over 4x minus 12y divided by 10x plus 5y over 2x minus 6y. Again, my first step is I'm going to rewrite that problem. I'm going to change that division to multiplications. This will be 2x minus 6y, 10x plus 5y. Flip them. Now let's factor. I can take a 3 out. What's left? 2x plus y. I can take a 4 out. What's left? X minus 3y. I can take a 2 out. X minus 3y. I can take a 5 out. 2x plus y. And now let's see if we have anything the same. I see a couple of them. And by 2, this is 1. By 2, this is 2. So my final answer, 3 times 1, which is 3. 2 times 5, which is 10. And notice, take another look at it. Can I simplify that more? No. So I know I finished it. Let's try one more. Divide c squared plus 4c plus 3 divided by 5c plus 10, the whole thing divided by c squared minus 1 over c. Rewrite. Before I do any factoring, even nothing, this becomes a multiplication, c over c squared minus 1. Let me factor that. That's c plus 3, c plus 1. This I can take a 5 out. C plus 2. There's the c. C plus 1. C minus 1. Remember, the 1 is really 1 squared. We just don't put it there. So I see c minus or c plus 1 common to both of them. So my answer is c times c plus 3 over 5 times c plus 2 c minus 1. And you can leave it like this or multiply it out. Either way is fine. So if you really figure out multiplication, you can see division is not much different than multiplication. There's only one step extra. We change the division to multiplication, we flip the second expression. After that becomes a multiplications. And that's the end of this video.